Guys, deluded, YouTubes and Golo Kante. I'm here to save your weekend. I've just woke up. Didn't even have time to comb my hair because I want to get this message out and across, my quick thing. Basically, I'm not going to tell you nothing new. We know footballers get paid some mad wages. Some people can understand why they get paid their matches. I'm not saying wages. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Some people say they shouldn't be paid that. Soldiers should be paid more, X, Y, Z. And I guess on the basis that they're just football players, soldiers save lives, regardless of what I have to personally feel about soldiers in general. You could say that, but I mean, that's a very dim way and retarded, quite frankly, way of looking at things, if I'm honest with you. It really, pardon my language, pisses me off when people say footballers don't deserve their wages. They don't say this about Oprah Winfrey. You don't say Oprah deserve, why say Neymar and all these men don't deserve their thing if they're at the top of the craft in the game, that they never controlled the demands. They didn't make football this demanding. I run, you know what, we'll get on to that later, but nobody says Oprah shouldn't be paid this thing because of her brand. No one says these Formula One drivers who get paid quite a bit more than footballers, and that's me being modest. Nobody says they don't deserve that, whether they're putting their life on the line or not. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying nobody says this. Nobody says musicians don't deserve their money. Nobody says Floyd Mayweather and all of these boxers when they were boxing, or Conor McGregor don't deserve their cash when, ironically, them two went together in a fight for big money. Nobody said they didn't deserve their money. Nobody says Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, Madonna, of all those of you old enough to listen to them, nobody said they didn't deserve their money. So why are footballers different? Why should footballers have their wages capped? Thingy. I want footballers to get paid more. I wish they got paid more. Capping their wages is silly. How many, whatever sector you lot are in, imagine someone told you your earnings are capped because someone doesn't believe you deserve that. What kind of nonsense? We'd all want a pay raise. People that get at footballers now in 2018 is lazy, is retarded, and it just damn right sour. Footballers didn't deserve. We know the amount of money in the game is because of demand. That's because of sponsors. That's because of people like us that love the game and the fat cats rip us. Footballers didn't ask us to watch the game and love the game and love their skills. The only thing they did is be better footballers or be more entertaining. Ironically, you could say that drives up demand. They can't control that. They're just trying to be the best they can be. And when you look at it, it's not their fault. We adore them. Like, it's not our fault. Our fault. We love Thierry Henry, Ronaldinho, and all of these guys, and they get rich. It's the fat cats that use this. Our love for the Neymars and that, and Pogba, use their marketing brands, raise ticket prices, especially online, add booking fees, especially if you buy online, costly memberships, whether you're an Arsenal fan, whether you're a Spurs, or you got the Lily Whites membership, work with season tickets, regardless of whatever membership. They're not the ones putting this. They're not the ones bringing out kits every day, every season, and new merchandise and all of these things. They're just sporting it. They're literally puppets. What they make is pennies on the dollar. It's them. It's these fat cats that exploit us. And when you look at things like, all right, cool, we're seeing everything from 450k to whatever from what's his name, Alexis Sanchez. I'm acting saying what's his name, but we're seeing that already. Yeah, Alexis is on mad fee. Let's just say 450k a week. Yeah, just to make the point. What is that to a club like Manchester United that's worth $1 billion or billions? Pennies on the dollar. Giving him that allows me. United, they're one of the richest clubs in the world, one of the biggest marketing sponsors, all the money, all of these things. I don't need to get into it. All of that is pennies compared to what Alexis plays for. Now, Alexis Sanchez is a man who was working at 8 years of age because his family was poor, sadly. Is a man that comes from poverty. Is a man that doesn't want to go back to poverty. Is a man that can actually do all right with the money. People say footballers are out of touch. They were once us, if not worse, if you lived in the likes of Chile and stuff. So why shouldn't they get the money? At the end of the day, they're putting their bodies on the line. They're like, if you're like Alexis, you're coming to a new continent in Europe and that, risking whatever. You don't know what you're gonna expect. See, you were once poor. Yeah, man, I really get annoyed at that stuff. It's pennies on the dollar. They're putting their health on the line, long-term health risks. Have trained up for several years to get to this point where they're a decent footballer. So why shouldn't they earn any money? Why shouldn't they earn real money? They're the ones, right? Why shouldn't they? If I'm Paul Pogba, why shouldn't Pogba get paid more or whatever? If United, worth billions and all of these things, like I said, are using him to be marketable, whether it's on the field or off the field or whatever, why shouldn't he get paid that? It's not his fault. These sort of people are coming from backgrounds. They're not the people that come from backgrounds that manipulate the market, that raise all the fees and all the heinous acts I've said. These people were once living on the council estate, if we look at the ones in England, so why shouldn't they? Wayne Rooney never grew up rich. Love to see the money coming in. Nathaniel Klein grew up in a place, man, get licked down. I'm happy for that. Rashford the same. There's many examples. Raheem Sterling, man, people were saying it's either football or jail, and now he's getting money from football, and I hope he gets more. What's wrong with this? What is wrong with this? People say footballers are out of touch. I don't know what Callum Wilson or Bournemouth is on, but judging by the fact that he's a footballer, he's obviously pretty comfy. He took time out of his time around Christmas and he's there helping the homeless and people on food banks and stuff. I'm not saying he's an angel, but he's showing real guys. Why? Because he knows what it's like for his family to go food banks and them thing there. Tyrone Mings of Bournemouth is always giving out free tickets, always got time for the community, always doing things away from football that can benefit people. So when people say footballers are out of touch and all of this, quite frankly, fuckery, it don't make sense. They never chose to raise prices and make football such a game where obviously it's always been loved, but able to exploit. They're not doing their clubs image rights. They're not part. They are part of the big six. The two examples I've said, but they're not the chairmans that are congregating with the other top six to milk more money. They're not gaining mad peas from the TV rights. They are the ones going on the football pitch. They don't come from an elite background of friends and family and stuff that make these sort of decisions, do they? More of the time, these people, some of their friends like Alexis and all of the ones that grew up in London, for sure, some of their friends are Zaha as well. Some of their friends are in jail. Some of these things are XYZ. Zaha, coming from a escaping war, dad was a cleaner and all of these things. Not that there's anything wrong with a cleaner. Now able to make sure he can retire and don't have to do that. Why shouldn't he? Why shouldn't he get this money? I want them to get more, because even when you look at it, the disparity for what the club's owners and these people earn compared to what the players is still pennies. The players deserve it. Am I saying it's not immoral, the amount of money in the game and these things? No, but we are here where we're here because of several things. Our demand, which we can't fans demand, which we can't begrudge. Players being good footballers, and ultimately the people exploiting. If you're still blaming footballers, it's lazy. It's as lazy as just blaming Wenger for Arsenal's problems. When you need to look at the shepherd. I'm not excusing anybody. I'm just trying to make a point. It really annoys me. None of these people grew up in an elite circle that manipulate the market. None of them. The majority of them didn't. Like, it really annoys me. Like, I love it. I want these footballers to get out of here and be YRNs and get rich and ensure their family hopefully never have to work again, or can do different things to enable them to have a better life rather than the usual statistic. I love to see it, and may it continue. I hope footballers get paid more because of this. The disparity is still there. You don't say all the several people that play James Bond shouldn't get all this money. You don't say Idris Elba shouldn't get mad money. You don't say Dave Chappelle shouldn't get that money from Netflix. Kind of nonsense, man. Guys, deluded, YouTubes and Golo Kante. I'm signing out. Get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest, man.